53 now, and we may not be ready for the snow to start falling, but when it does, you'll want your car to be ready so you don't get stuck. Josh is now outside with our expert from Firestone Complete Auto Care with tips for prepping your vehicle. Josh?
That's right, Jessa. I'm joined by Jeff McCabe from the Firestone location at Reed and Henderson, and he's going to give us some tips on prepping the vehicle. Thanks for joining us this morning, Jeff.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Josh.
Well, let's first start talking about what to do under the hood to get ready for winter.
Sure. A couple tips, and this is something we've talked about every year, and probably one of the first things to do and major things to do every winter is get a new set of wiper blades. Obviously, when you're following somebody and it's sloshing up on your window, very important. Always keep your filters clean, air filter. Something that a lot of people aren't familiar with that cars have nowadays are a cabin air filter. This will filter the air into the passenger compartment of the car. Keep in mind, in the winter, windows are up, heaters on. Very important to filter that air that you're going to be breathing all winter long.
Okay, so some good tips there to get started. Now let's shift the attention to the tires because we're talking about snow, ice. That's one of the major things we want to keep an eye on. So what do you recommend?
Well, and this is something that has changed with technology as well these days. We used to talk snow and ice tires and only snow and ice tires. Now we're more focused on winter tires. We know for a fact that cold weather affects even all-season tires' performance. The tire rubber hardens up, stiffens up, hence the tire slips. Think about it this way. In your closet, you have sandals, you have flip-flops. You're not going to put them on and go out in the winter.
Right.
You're going to change to boots. Same thing with your tires. Winter tires actually have a tread that allows the tire to flex. That tire that flexes and doesn't stiffen up when cold is what grabs your pavement surface. So your tire does have more traction. That's why it's very important that we look at this as winter, cold weather tires and not just the snow and ice tires we have in the past.
Okay, so we put these tires on our vehicle. What do we need to keep in mind in terms of checking the tire pressure?
Well, and that great question, because tire pressure is probably one of the biggest things we deal with nowadays, especially with cars that have the tire pressure monitoring systems that a lot of us grew up not having. The lights are very sensitive and they come on. A tire pressure gauge is still the simplest tool out there. It's very important that people understand on the door, if they open their driver's door, there'll always be a placard on the door in some form or fashion. Follow the recommended air pressure that's on this. So this tool, this placard inside the door, set your air pressure and all is good.
Okay, and how often should we check that pressure?
Well, what they say is you can lose up to a pound of air pressure for every 10 degrees drop in temperature. We have 25 area Firestone stores that do a free tire inspection and inflation. Our recommendation, especially as temperatures change now, pull into one of our facilities or a facility, get your air pressure checked at least once a month. During cold weather, in Central Ohio, we fluctuate. One day it's 60 and it can be 30 at night and back. It may be more important to check it more often during those times.
All right, Jeff McCabe joining us from Firestone. Great tips. You want to start prepping now because before you know it, it's going to start snowing around here. Jessa?